On our radar now is Shalby on the back of their Q3 earnings. They've reported a sequential 23% recovery in revenue, though the margin remains under pressure, coming in at under 15% versus the over 23% they had done last quarter. To talk about the quarter gone by and the outlook, we're joined by the company's director, Shanay Shah, and Vice Chairman and Global President, Sushobhan Dasgupta. Mr. Shah, let me begin with you, sir. This recovery that we have seen on a quarter-on-quarter basis, can you break it up for us in terms of what has been the contribution from COVID and non-COVID?
Sure. First of all, thank you for having me, and good morning to your viewers. The way we have performed this quarter is, we have shown a 23% growth on a year-on-year basis, and in the hospital business, there is a 16% growth. In the comparable quarter last year, about 45% of the revenues were generated from COVID, and about 55% from the other specialties. But as we talk today, we do about, all of the revenue has actually come in from non-COVID revenue. And it has been a very healthy split for the company, because I would say about 38% has come in from the major business, which is the arthroplasty business for us, where we continue to remain the #1 player globally and in India. But a good 45% has come in from a mix of ICU care, cardiology, oncology, neurology, and orthopedics. So basically, we have well diversified now into some of the other specialities as we talk.
Okay, so now the core specialty of arthroplasty and orthopedics only contributes 55% to your revenues. Absolutely.
Arthroplasty contributes about 38%, and the balance 5 specialities where the company is focusing on, we've managed to, see that revenue grow to about 50% as a group of 5 specialities.
Mr. Dasgupta, you have a bed capacity of 2,000, but only 1,200 beds are operational right now, and that is because your occupancy is still running low. You were just telling us in the commercial break prior to you being connected on TV that your occupancy is at 45% in the quarter gone by. What is the trajectory to improve it from here on so you could use the rest of your beds? Mr. Shah?
Okay, I thought Mr. Gupta was going to answer this question. So I can take that. Essentially, the way we see things, we have basically clocked a 45% kind of occupancy in this quarter, and that number is going up. We are building our key capabilities. Like I mentioned, 50% of the top line is now coming from all these other specialities where we've been focusing on in the last 5 years. And, at the moment we are building the capabilities of, kind of adding more doctors and increasing the spend on marketing as well to see that how this occupancy can ramp up. What we believe is that, we as a group have this opportunity to double the revenue in the next 3 to 4 years in the hospital business, because as a hospital group, we are the only ones that have that kind of a upside from these levels as we talk today.
Shanay, good morning and thanks for joining us. This is Pavitra. Last year you announced that you're looking at setting up 100 orthopedic hospitals across the country. Could you tell us what is the kind of bed addition that will happen because of this, and also what could it translate to in terms of revenue for the company?
See, the group is basically focusing on 3 verticals. One is, of course, the hospital business, which today is the largest business. The franchisee business has picked up well for us in terms of, the number of hospitals that we've kind of got on board. We're already working on 3 hospitals, and, 2 of them are already operational in terms of the franchisee model. Within the franchisee model, we have two different verticals. One is the franchisee-owned, franchisee-operated, and the second one is the franchisee-owned, Shalby operated. So the one which is franchisee-owned, Shalby operated, which will be more revenue operative to the group. However, for the franchisee-owned, franchisee-operated, the Shalby group will get a royalty fee for the same. So, although we are in early stages at the moment, we believe that this business will contribute very meaningfully in the next 3 years. And the third one, of course, is the medical devices business, which is basically what we acquired in the US in FY22 in May. And that business is the third business where, of course, these are all approved products in the US and Japan. And we have applied for approvals in India, which we are hoping that we will have over the next 1 or 2 months. And then, we'll be looking at India as a geography to sell these products as well. So these are the three different verticals where we feel that, we will be growing over the next 3 to 5 years.
The Vice Chairman and Global President, Mr. Sushobhan Dasgupta, is also with us. Mr. Dasgupta, we were just chatting with Mr. Shah, and he was talking about that implant business in the United States. Could you tell us what the contribution was this quarter? Has it turned around? And he was also talking about, other growth markets, in India as well as outside in Asia. What could be the revenue contribution in the coming few quarters as you start getting the approvals in?
Yeah, thank you for the question. And I'm delighted to let you all know that the business for implants, in which we are located in California, in El Dorado Hills, is doing pretty well. It has turned around the corner in the sense that when we started, it was at 10% of capacity utilization. We slowly ramped up. And today we have a 50% capacity utilization of the plant, which is fantastic. It's producing around 2,500 components in a month. Which is a great turnaround. The second turnaround, as the question for yours is, it has contributed around close to 5% of the entire Shalby turnover in this quarter at around 9 crores. And if you look at the total turnover in the last, when we started from end of May till this year, we are close to 22 crores in terms of sales. So the US market is pretty going well. What we have, our initial plans have been to first cater to our existing loyal customers while we move into our new customers, and we can see that we have been doing well. And just another good news to share, that when we look at our Q3 EBITDA, we have just turned positive due to some favorable one-time sales mix, which we are pretty hopeful that we'll be continuing forward. That's a significant achievement when you look at only a 7-month-old business in orthopedic industry. To your question in terms of, yes, we would be launching in India and Southeast Asia as a priority markets going forward, outside of US and Japan, which we have an existing market. India, we are have submitted all our registration papers, and we are pretty hopeful that we should be able to get our registration through by this quarter, that is before March, so that we can launch our products into India. We are looking at, we have already put in a very experienced person in place in Southeast Asia, and we are looking at the markets of Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines, and Vietnam to start with, to enter that segment. And we are pretty hopeful that we will be able to get in registration pretty quickly in these markets, along with India, Bangladesh, and Nepal as our key markets outside of US and Japan going forward.
All right, gentlemen, we will leave it at that today. Thank you very much for joining us and taking us through your earnings as well as the plan going forward.